Welcome to Module 1 of the Small Business 101 webinar series. This webinar series has been designed to walk you through various components to be considered to start a successful business. Each webinar is approximately 30 minutes in duration, and we encourage you to walk through each, pausing as needed. This module is all about self-assessment. The goal of this webinar is to answer, do you have what it takes personally to start up a business? Are you ready to get started? There are two worksheets to accompany this webinar, the Readiness Checklist and a Time Management Worksheet. These are tools for you to self-assess and to start with strong management skills, which you will need to be successful in business. Let's begin. This is the first module of 10 that complete the Small Business 101 webinar series. The Small Business 101 series will get you started with some of the most important information you will need as a startup entrepreneur. The goal of this module is to figure out if you are ready to be a business owner. Not everyone is. In fact, only a small percentage of the population is ready and able to be a successful entrepreneur. But do not be discouraged. Instead, let's walk through if you are ready. And don't worry, with a strong desire and the discipline to learn what you need to learn, you can become a successful entrepreneur. Some people decide to start a business because they think that they're going to be rich and famous like Richard Branson, who founded Virgin, Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, or Bill Gates of Microsoft. Is that what is motivating you? Let's first clarify this point. If your sole motivation is to make money, this most likely won't happen without some other real important motivational components. In fact, most small business advisors will recommend that if your motivation is to make money through starting your own company, you are probably better off to get a job. The average person starting up a business only makes 25% of their projected revenue in the first year of business, which is often much less than what they would have made from working full-time as an employee. But for the few that do get their ideas off the ground, they find running their own business to be rewarding, something that they are passionate about, and they're able to be successful in the long term. Let's figure out if you are ready to be a business owner. To do this, we're going to talk about the following key factors: your personality, business readiness, and time management. Your personality. Do you have the natural working habits and outlook that are going to help you be successful? Find out what you need to have to be successful. Business readiness. Some things come naturally and other things can be worked on, and you can build your competence in these. Time management. Many potential small business owners want to start their own business as they want more flexible hours. Although this is true to some extent, to start up a small business, the owners are always working longer hours than a full-time employee would. This is reality. Often 60 to 80-hour work weeks are common. In addition, it is very hard to stop thinking about your business as an owner. This means that even on your vacation, if you get any, you are still going to be thinking about your business and often talking about it. So there is little downtime. This you must be ready for. It doesn't mean it is always like this, but it most likely will be at first. This makes time management critical. Every minute is important. Time really is money. Most small business owners recognize that every minute or hour extra that they work, the higher the probability is that they will be successful. Working smart through time management best practices will only help you. Grab your readiness checklist to get started. We will be walking through each attribute on this checklist. As we go through this, do a self-assessment of where your strengths and weaknesses are. Be honest here so you are clear where your strengths are and what areas you will need to address. At the end, you will be able to see where you are at and where you can focus your time to do some self-improvement. Let's get started. Your personality: independence, self-confidence, decision-making, persuasiveness, perseverance, negotiation, creativity, and multitasking. Here are the personality and natural skills that you have that we are going to walk through. Don't worry. Even where you recognize that you might be weaker, we are going to come up with a plan to improve these areas. Independence. Why is this important? You are the one who is looking out for your business. You need to take the lead. Being an entrepreneur can be a lonely time. There is a lot of working by yourself. There's a lot of late nights or early mornings. And there is a lot of added responsibilities that you aren't used to that are put on your shoulders quickly. Being independent and comfortable with this new role goes hand in hand. So, how to improve on this? Are you independent in other parts of your life? Are there other ways that you can start to establish your independence? Another way is to find a buddy or a mentor that can help you through this process. You still have to retain the responsibility, but having a mentor might help you better handle this transition. Self-confidence. Why is this important? You need to think that you can do this. Your mindset is often responsible for your success or failure. It is often a self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-confidence is tied to your independence. It helps you in becoming more independent. So, how to improve on this? Take some time to know why you are the right person to be launching this business. Brainstorm about all of the amazing strengths that you have individually that are going to make you an amazing small business owner for the product or service that you will be selling. Are you a great listener? Are you experienced? Do you understand your customer? You need to know exactly why you will be great at this. Once you do, your self-confidence will grow. And also, you are in control of your own self-confidence. No one else, just you. Decision making. Why is this important? You need to be able to make decisions. There are lots of decisions that come across your desk daily as a small business owner. Where will you buy your supplies? How will you interact with customers? What is the strategic approach that you will be taking? Big and small, there are tons of decisions to be made. You need to make good decisions as this will impact the financial viability of your business. If you are overpaying for your supplies, this will increase your costs. If you don't interact or have a good policy with customers, your revenue will decrease. And if you miss an important fact when creating your strategy, your business might be sunk. And as there are so many decisions to be made, you can't take a huge amount of time in making them. So the ability and courage to make good decisions is critical. Yes, courage. No time to overanalyze. This cannot be you. So how to improve on this if you aren't good at this? Start by realizing that not making a decision is actually making a decision. If you don't make a decision, you have decided to do nothing or to stall doing something. So start making decisions that will lead you towards success. Persuasiveness. Why is this important? Interacting with others is a huge part of running a business. You are interacting and influencing your customers, suppliers, investors, employees, and everyone else your business connects with. There are multiple touch points with people, and every interaction is part of branding you and your business. How persuasive are you? Would you interact with you? How to improve on this? Know why your business will improve lives. This is probably the same reason why you want to start up the business, as you will be making a positive impact on your customers. Own this and know what it is. Then talk about this. Know the why of your business, as this is the most persuasive thing about it. Perseverance. Why is this important? Starting your business is always harder than you originally think it will be. A successful business is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. If you aren't persistent, you probably won't have a lot of traction or success. Starting a business is not easy, so you need to keep at it. Do you give up easy or do you keep at it? How to improve this? Celebrate your small wins. Success breeds success. When you have that success, you should celebrate it and take that break so that you can save energy for the next time that you need to be persistent. Negotiation. Why is this important? Everything is a negotiation. From your employee vacation dates to your supplier delivery times. How to improve on this? Negotiation comes naturally to many of us, especially for those that might have been raised in a larger family. Everything was a negotiation there, as well from the last cookie to choosing the seats in a car. For those that it comes less naturally, there are ways to improve. The most important is to prepare for all negotiations. Plan out what you are willing to give up and think like the person that you are negotiating with. What do they want? And what might they be willing to give up? Focus on a win-win approach where possible. This is the most common strategy for when you are creating a long-term customer relationship, where you will continue to negotiate with them in the future. If you go for a win-lose approach in the first negotiation, every negotiation thereafter will be a lose-lose for both parties. Creativity. Why is this important? The way that you think your business is going to turn out in the beginning is almost never the way that it ends up going. You need to be able to pivot your business idea. That takes creativity and the ability to think beyond the way that the business exists today. It is also an ongoing requirement. Whether you are thinking about improving your business or problem solving within your business, you need to unleash some creativity. So how to improve on this? Some people just don't think they are creative, but obviously everyone was super creative as a child with using their imagination. So we just need to use some practices that help us think in that way again. Figure out where you are the most creative and use that time for strategic thinking. Is it when you exercise? Is it over a coffee? Once you figure this out, harness your creative time. Multitasking. Why is this important? This is more to do with what you have time for. Doing 2 to 4 things at once and being able to balance those activities is important. How are you juggling between things? How to improve on this? Prioritization. Time management best practices are helpful, and we will be covering this at the end of this module. Now we jump into the second half of the self-assessment checklist. You have the natural attributes to get started, and now we figure out if you are business ready. Let's work through the self-assessment checklist that goes through if you're passionate about the idea, risk taker, realistic, sales skills, financially literate, support of others, emotionally stable and able to avoid burnout, and financial stability for the startup phase. Passion. Why is this important? You need to be passionate about your business idea to keep the energy to keep it going. This is probably one of the most important attributes you need to possess. It is easy to know if you are passionate about your business idea. It is the only thing that you could imagine yourself doing. You want to work on the idea all of the time, and you just can't stop talking about it. It's like love. If you have to ask if you are in love, you probably aren't. If you have to ask if you are passionate, you probably aren't. How to improve on this? This one is huge and tough. If you aren't passionate about something, you probably never will be. The most important thing is spending some time to reflect on what you're actually passionate about and to be honest with yourself on why you wish to start your business. Risk taker. Why is this important? You need to take that leap and be comfortable with continuing to push the envelope. Starting a business can be stressful with all the rapid changes at the start. If you aren't a risk taker, this transition can be very difficult. Every business owner will need to take risks, especially at first when you are deciding many decisions from what you will be selling, to whom, what price, what marketing, and more. How to improve this? Most entrepreneurs are actually not risk takers in their own minds. They believe that it is calculated risk and manageable. Often, they don't even gamble in Las Vegas. Why do they think that it is a manageable risk? Often it is that the entrepreneur knows the business environment that they are entering, so it doesn't seem risky. Often the entrepreneur understands their target market, so it doesn't seem risky. And often the entrepreneur understands their own capability, so it doesn't seem risky. Do you feel the same? Realistic. Why is this important? Pessimistic people find it hard to sell to others as their negative outlook is not very persuasive. Optimism will create too high of expectations for customers, so you have a harder time having a long-term relationship. This leaves realism, and realism is just right. How to improve on this? Know yourself. If you are optimistic, reduce your projections by 50%. If you are pessimistic, increase projections by 100%. Or you could have your mentor or someone to bounce ideas off of so that you're having a clearer perspective of what is possible. Sales skills. Why is this important? If you don't have sales, you don't have a business. We could go into this, but really you need sales in any business. This is just a practical part of any business. Selling skills can be learned, and if you're passionate about what you do, that is a great start. The rest you can learn. How to improve on this? A lot of people think that sales skills are something that people are born with, but it really is practice makes perfect. A lot of selling is simply understanding its importance, prioritizing it, practicing it. Realize that any strength that you have can help you with being a better salesperson. If you are an introvert, does that not make you a better listener? Financially literate. Why is this important? Numbers are important. By understanding your numbers, you can make better business decisions. You can figure out what to invest in. You know if you can hire someone. You know where to focus your business strategies. You know where you need to change your strategies. In general, your numbers will help you make better business decisions in the short and long term. How to improve this? Start learning. There are lots of ways to improve your financial literacy. This can be online courses, webinars, speaking with your small business banker, or speaking with your mentor. If you are seeing that this is a strength, this is an easy thing to improve. You need a budget. Let's spend a few minutes talking about getting control over what you spend, and it is starting with making a budget and sticking to it. This is a very important best business financial practice, and for entrepreneurs, if you can incorporate this right out of the gates, you will be much better off. This is also a key component in being financially literate. The best tool or resource for you to have on hand when using your personal assets is a budget. There are many online budget tools that you can use, but really it could be just as easily done using a piece of paper or a spreadsheet. The keys when doing budget is to make sure that you have a way to track it. Support of others. Why is this important? The best entrepreneurs know that they cannot do everything, so they start by building a team. They build a team based on their weakness. They often put aside their egos, hiring people that they think are more competent than themselves. They build a team based on sustainability so that they don't have to keep hiring people and training them, but they hire people they trust and plan on working with in the long term. How to improve on this? Start telling people what you are up to and listen to their responses. Are they a good fit? What is the chance of them working with you in the longer term? Are they going to be amazing? Do they have a lot of upside potential? Are they the people that fit in with the culture that you want to create? Emotionally stable. Why is this important? There are a lot of ups and downs in starting a business. You might land a customer, lose a customer, you could hire someone, you might separate from your business partner. You might have an emotional conversation with your significant other, you might yell at an employee, and all of this might happen in a single day. You need to protect yourself by starting off strong emotionally. This is a lot to handle. You need to be self aware and in a good place in order to survive the highs and lows of your business. Can you keep yourself up and ready to go? Are you ready to be on? How to improve on this? Have at least one person outside of your family and friends that you can talk to about your business with. Mentors are great. Find this person early and meet with them as often as you need. You will find quickly that they improve your personal relationships, your business, and your state of mind. Financially stable. Why is this important? It's going to take a while to get your revenue streams ramped up. You need to be able to sustain your living expenses until that happens. Depending on the type of business that you are starting, this might mean that you need 6 months of cash flow. For others, it might mean that you need 18 months. Not only do you need to be financially stable, but you need to know what your cash flow needs are and for how long. How to improve this? Stay on top of your budget. Are you following it? Are you going to have to make other changes? Some entrepreneurs try to minimize their monthly expenses when they start a business. What can you do to increase the chance of your success? Let's get back to the need for a budget and what you will need to do with it. Are you actually following the budget that you laid out? This way, if you notice a discrepancy, you can retool the budget to get back on track or at least be aware that things have changed. The second part of the budget is to actually stick to it and keep it up. A lot of people find this really difficult as they are curbing out expenses that are part of habit. But any habit can be changed in 3 weeks or 21 days. One way to help is to ensure that you still have a small amount of disposable income that is being used for something that is entertainment or fun. It can't be all work. Time management. As we have said previously, time management is critical. You need to be able to work both hard and smart. This combo is one of the most important parts of a successful business. Every successful business person works hard, but with the already long hours and ongoing understanding that the more that one works, the more successful their business is. Working smart becomes increasingly the differentiating factor. Let's figure out some best practices in scheduling our work weeks. Your time management worksheet will help you get started. To work smart, you need to have a strategic goal. It has been proven that the more strategic work that you are doing, the less tactical work that you will have. For instance, if you set up an automated calendar for booking appointments, you will spend 80% less time on this tactical task. So we want to make sure that strategic tasks continue to happen. We do this by scheduling it in, and we continue working each week until these strategic tasks are complete. Write down your weekly goal that is strategic. This should be something that is going to help you work smarter rather than harder. For each day, you have an allotted amount of tasks. A ton of to-dos will pile up, but make sure that you add in the strategic tasks to make sure that this happens. And when you accomplish this task or tasks, celebrate. The worksheet will help you with planning to do this. Module 1 is all about your personal self-assessment. How did you do? Do you see your areas of strength? We went through what different personality styles can bring, if you are business ready, and we walked through a best practice of how to manage your time. Ready to move forward? You now know if you are ready to be a business owner and where you might have a gap. You now have some tools to improve this. Module 1 is the first of 10 modules for the Small Business 101 webinar series. Let's get going.